I kid you not, this was my face the entire scene. My jaw. What is up, Fleet fans? Welcome back to my channel. Look, let's get right into it, okay? So, I've been asked the question, Austin, have you been watching Clone Wars? Because you're not reviewing it episode by episode. But this is one of those shows for me, and I know I'm missing out on views and people tuning in to hear my thoughts, but this is one of those shows that I love so much, I thought I'd wait and do a full review at the end of the season, recap my thoughts, so I can enjoy each episode and just focus on that. Not have to focus on a review. That's just the way I've been doing it. And I wasn't even going to talk about this individually because I wanted to save my thoughts, but I have went back and watched this so many times, and I want to know if that's the case for you all. How many times have you watched this battle? And not just this version of the battle. Someone went in on YouTube and put in Duel of the Fates behind the scene with Ahsoka and Darth Maul, which made it, I wouldn't say even better because I loved the context of what we got, and the scene is perfect, but it made it just as cool, and I'm sitting back going, this is unlike anything I have seen from Star Wars in such a long time, and that's why I wanted to make this video, is because of how impactful I believe this is for Star Wars. And I know some are going to watch this and say, but it's an animated show. Does it really mean anything? To me, Clone Wars is the most integral and important thing Star Wars has had in quite some time, because let's face it, whether you love the movies or hate the new movies, they have been utterly divisive, right? I loved certain things about the new movies, but other things really disappointed me. I still love Star Wars on the level that I always have, right? I just recently talked about Empire Strikes Back being in my top 5 of all time. But lately, it's just been like, do I really want to talk about Star Wars on the channel? Because I know how some can be when they get angry, and I know how divisive it is as a whole, this and that. But Clone Wars comes along, or comes back from the dead, according to some, and just resurrects our love as fans for Star Wars as a whole, and gives us, and I say fan servicey moments, but I mean that in the best way, because sometimes fan service can feel completely shoehorned in a movie or a show. This fan service, okay, because that's what it is. It was warranted, it made sense with the story, and it was amazing, incredible. One of the coolest lightsaber battles I've ever seen. Right? I don't know if I can put it on the level of the battle in The Phantom Menace. I don't know if I can put it up there with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, but in terms of importance and resurrecting Star Wars from where it has been, putting it back at the forefront of fans' minds, and obviously Mandalorian did that as well. But Mandalorian didn't really have any lightsabers. It had a darksaber, but it didn't really have any lightsabers, right? This show has done something, taking place in the time period of Attack of the Clones and now Revenge of the Sith. What happened that we didn't see, right, in those films? It has just resurrected our love. And I just want to talk about this scene really quick and my reaction as it was happening. So obviously at this point in the story, Count Dooku is dead. We're in Revenge of the Sith full force. Order 66. It's imminent, and the fall of the Jedi Order is basically inevitable. It's about to happen. Obi-Wan says, I'm being sent to hunt down General Grievous, so we know where that leads. But in the meantime, he wants Ahsoka to go in, capture Maul, bring him back to Coruscant, so the Jedi Order can learn more about Darth Sidious and the Dark Lord's former apprentice. Now, just a cool way to weave the story in and out, things that we didn't see, and that's what we're loving about the show, what it's giving us so far. So then we get to the confrontation between Ahsoka and Darth Maul, and I love what he said. And I looked up this quote just to make sure I'm quoting it correctly. Were you not cast out of your order? We were both tools for greater powers. The time of the Jedi has passed. They can't defeat Sidious, but together, you and I can. So he's basically offering Ahsoka his hand while there's this war going on outside, and you can see the parallels between this and something like The Last Jedi, because as Rey told Ben Solo in The Last Jedi, Ahsoka says, hey, I'll help you. But first, Darth Maul, he's got to answer this question. What does he want with Anakin Skywalker? And bada bing, bada boom, Darth Maul starts explaining, okay, listen, he has been groomed for this role as my master's new apprentice, and he basically explains, I am trying my best to lure them in so I can kill Anakin before Anakin turns into Vader. So he's basically breaking the news to her. Yeah, Anakin Skywalker is supposed to be Darth Sidious's new apprentice. And this is all in the midst of the battle, right? I've not even talked about the actual lightsaber duel and the way that it comes together. And the visuals are just so spectacular. I mean, they've been spectacular in the show in general. The show looks phenomenal. It's the best looking season of television in the world of animated Star Wars that I've ever seen. But this battle, from the lighting to the glow of the sabers to the constant taunting that they are giving each other, Ahsoka saying, well, you can't even take me on. There's no way you could take on Anakin Skywalker. And the fact that Ahsoka, doesn't on the outside necessarily believe what Darth Maul is saying, but deep down, I believe she knows something. Right, and we find out later in Rebels and all of that goes down, but deep down, there's some sort of truth to what Maul is saying. And then obviously Maul almost falls to his death at the end, but Ahsoka catches him using the Force and allows Rex and his troopers to take him prisoner. And we know that the worst is yet to come. And the final few episodes of this season, I mean, this was epic beyond all belief. Epic in nature, I mean, just so freaking cool. But the worst is yet to come. And I truly believe that they're about to showcase something that Star Wars fans never imagined seeing on the small screen in the world of Clone Wars. And we all know what it's building up to, okay? But this battle in particular, this lightsaber battle, has to be one of the coolest things I have ever seen on this show. It makes all of this build-up worth it, whether you want to say every episode is paid off or not. But last week's episode, this week's episode has been phenomenal. And I was sitting freaking out the entire time, just having the best time, knowing in the back of my mind, well, I'm probably not going to do a review for this. Like, this is one that I wanted to share my thoughts, so I decided, you know what, today we're going to do that. We're going to talk about how awesome and important this lightsaber duel was for Star Wars fans. So I need you in the comments down below. What did you think? What was your face during all of this while this was going down? If you like these individual moment reviews of Clone Wars, hit that thumbs up button. Maybe we'll do one if something like this happens next week, the week after, because we know things are coming. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. And if you'd like to see a spoiler review for this season, let me know by hitting that thumbs up and leaving your comments. I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see how this random video does, and I'll see you soon.